Well, I'm definitely gonna have a new video next week. Looks like a new character to Disney Heroes. That I never knew this guy's name. I just knew him as big dude who uh from the Muppets. that was all I knew. Wow, he's got the tears here. I never noticed how like kind of costume he is. Anyway, I'll read that later. For now, we're looking at a new episode of JWA Fixes. I did promise that I would be making more of these because they are easy to make. And again, people have a lot. My Discord server is predominantly made up of people who submit their ideas. And the fact that it takes this long just to show off their ideas in a video is probably pretty frustrating for them. So let's get started. And now, in the last video, I asked people what they wanted to see, what species they wanted me to cover. Only one person commented, and it was about the hybrids, which is the Scorpius, the Indominus, and the Indoraptor. I also went one step further and included the Stegoceratops line, since they're also canon-ish to the franchise. They got scrapped because, well, to make the Indominus more special, which makes sense in my eyes. What else? I could have done Spinoceratops as well, but that one's pretty well balanced and I see no reason to change it. So let's just get started. I did not touch the Indo Gen 2 because I think that one's perfectly balanced the way it is at the moment. It's not overpowering the meta, but it's not struggling now that it has a group definite strike. So I'd say it's solid. It's a solid creature right now. Let's look at the other ones. Now, Indominus Rex, one of my favorite creatures in the game. It's one of the first creatures I ever got, and it's something like one of the first creatures that I ever maxed out, and was for quite a while before the meta started going to hell, was one of my best creatures. So I, of course, me being biased, I went overboard and really jacked up his stats. So we gave it definite strike. 2 shield breaking abilities, because there's the Gen 2 version has all shield breaks now. There's really no point in you not being able to break shields. I also gave you critical obstruction and made you immune to vulnerable, which you should have been all along. You're a fierce. It just makes sense. I do really like this new critical damage thing. I don't like how it's just exclusive to Omegas. Omegas can have a high critical, like Clever Girl can just have a guaranteed critical chance, and then you can max up that critical hits up to like 150, and then just like the biggest glass cannon in the game, one-shotting almost everything in its path. So I feel like maybe we could get of course, mine is very OP, 30% critical chance to deal a massive hit, on top of the fact it can do Cloak and Rampage. A balanced way would be like a very low critical chance, but a very high critical damage. That would be pretty cool to see on some creatures, and you'll see that later on I do try to balance that out a bit. Now, moving on to the Indoraptor Gen 2. This one! Remember when this guy was the most annoying dinosaur in the game? Every time this thing popped up, everyone rage quitted because they knew there was no way to counter it. Ardentis Maxima was probably the closest thing you could get to stopping an Indoraptor Gen 2, and even then it was very 50-50. Simpler times, simpler times. Anyway, I did give you a bit of a... You do not break shields, because I feel like that's just too much. You are still 100% cunning. And I didn't really tweak your stats all that much either. You're still fairly weak for a legendary. I did give you blues. I remember... I can't remember if I updated blue since the last time I covered it, which is why I'm thinking of doing... I'll announce that later. Blue, I did make an update to Blue, and in that update, I gave her these 2 abilities, or maybe just that ability and that ability later on, I don't remember. Either way, these are her boss abilities, and I figured, why doesn't the regular Blue have that? And in turn, her hybrid, the Indoraptor Gen 2. And I gave it Bait, which was supposed to be like the signature move of the original Indoraptor. As for stats, I gave you a good amount of resistances to help you balance out a little more. Nothing too big, just a simple rework. You're still gonna get wrecked by resilience. Maybe the clever dodge will cause... No, not really. It's mostly these abilities that are like, yeah, they deal damage, but then once someone uses like a superiority, and then you're dead. That's it. As for Indoraptor the Gen 1, sorry. I gave you a little more of a buff. Wow, I didn't touch your critical check. I thought I did. Okay, anyway, Cautious Strike, because if it makes sense for both Indoraptors to have this OP ability, what used to be an OP ability, Cleansing Evasive Impact. So to add some exo, you're not just cleansing, you're also gaining some defense to make up for your lack of health. A Fierce Devouring Rampage, so you can get some of that health back if the dodge fails. Clever Dodge as well, because no one uses Evasive Stance anymore. And Fake Out, which is probably an ability that will never come to the game, but it's like, when the Indoraptor, it can survive on 1 HP and then deal some damage back to the enemy. Bleed Resistance and Speed Resistance. And that's about it for Indoraptor. Again, nothing too big. I could have touched their hybrids as well, like I could have gone over Indolacan or any of the Indominus Rex hybrids. But those guys are fairly OP as they are, so I'm going to leave them alone and move on to the Scorpius Rex instead. So if I just type in score, I get a Scorpion, which, again, not going to cover what that is because not ready yet. Not ready. We're going to go in order here, starting with the lowest Scorpius Rex Gen 2. Cunning Fear Strike, because it's a little annoying that our Dontog and Athis, they were like, oh, no one's using his first ability. Let's give it them just splice 2 abilities into one, and then make it restricted to that creature only. I hate that. So let's give it to Scorpius Rex, which also struggles with its first ability. So now this way it can survive a little more. I also gave it it's a low critical chance, but very high critical damage. I think I gave you a speed buff as well, probably. Impact and Run, because Strike and Run is dumb. Fierce Critical Impact to really pack in the damage there. And everything else should be the same. I don't think I touched your... Maybe I did give you a bit of resistances, but honestly, I never memorized the resistances of the regular Scorpius Rex, so I don't know what I changed. Moving on to the OG Scorpius Rex. Probably one of my favorite hybrids, just because it's one of those, it's so how did that meme go from Ant-Man? Where he brought home an ugly doll and his daughter loved it because it was ugly. That's why people love Grimmsnarl. As you can see, I did do the change here, like a bit higher critical chance, but lower critical damage. We're gonna see a theme with the Scorpius Rex, because I like that. How, as time goes on, you'll see that their stun resistance gets higher depending on their generation, but their swap preventation gets lower. I like that little balance they had. Because the original Scorpius is, the epic version is immune to swap. And here we can see it's starting to trail off a bit, both at 75%. And then when we get to the last one, it's going to be completely losing it's going to just have a 50%, and that's going to be immune to stun. I also gave it No Escape to lead into the evolution of what the final Scorpius has. Other than that, I get, again, Cunning Fear Strike and a Group Cunning Impact. I think this is the only Scorpius where I gave it a group attack, and that's mostly to deal with the fact that you don't have a stunning ability. So you can stand up to Flux a little better than anyone else. Moving on to the final Scorpius Rex, which is my favorite Scorpius because I love the colors on it, and I love how it has the little brow horns. Highest critical damage, but just base critical damage. I gave you a health boost. This is one that I really want to buff because this is a dinosaur that I really like to use, and it's kind of a shame that it's basically useless now. This used to be one of the best dinosaurs in the game, and then about a year or two, it's just as useful as any other unique in the game, which is not much at all. It's all about the newest guy. Cunning Fear Strike again, Cunning Rampage, Toxic Quills, no group abilities. That's because Toxic Quills is a very OP ability already, I feel like, and then that can also take out a lot of Flocks, except for the Scorpions, which just break the idea of what you need to counter a Flock anyway. I gave it Camouflage on Escape, growing off of the No Escape from the regular Scorpius. And then resistances, I think I just gave you a bit of a higher damage resistance and a wee damage overtime resistance. And a much stronger vulnerable resistance. That's about it though. I didn't go crazy with the Scorpion. I could have sworn I did though. Oh well, either way, that's my buff for the Scorpius Rex, and you don't have any hybrids, and I did not make you any hybrids. So now, let's just jump over to the Stegoceratops line. I type in Stego, and I have a lot of Stego-based creatures. Oh, what's this? Oh, I did make a hybrid, but we'll get to that once we're done talking about the Stegoceratops. Again, oh, here we go. Very low critical damage, critical chance, but very high critical damage. We're seeing the pattern there. And a huge health buff because this thing, it should be a tank. It's a combination of two of the tankiest dinosaurs IRL. So the fact that it had very poor health to begin with just didn't sound right. Did I change your abilities? You already had group disarming impact, but I gave you a stunning rampage because you only deal like 1,000 damage, so you should have a lot higher dealing damaging abilities. Oh, I didn't really. Oh, I just also gave you a bunch of resistances as well. Nothing too big. I didn't really go crazy with Stegoceratops. I mean, yeah, you have a group attack, but that's about it. Nothing. I didn't really make you that meta relevant. I just beefed you up a little. Monostegatops, did I do anything? I did do a lot of changes. Again, with that big boosts where it's necessary, a bit of a, wow, lots of, I guess that's probably coming from the Monolophosaurus, which is more of a speedy glass cannon. And Stegoceratops, combining with Stegoceratops makes it a little more beefier, especially when you consider a lot of legendaries have much higher stats than what you see here. Tough group cutting strike to really get past those flocks. Stunning rampage and run. Group decelerating impact again. Really, oh yeah, I evolved from just stunning rampage to stunning rampage and run to really just give this thing a bit more synergy, and distracting counter to really get in touch with its Monolophosaurus ancestry, and just a good ton of resistances, most of them coming from the Monolophosaurus' pathetic resistances and carrying over the resistances I gave to the Stegoceratops. Again, nothing that meta relevant, but it would makes you a lot more desirable than what you were before, because Monostegatops, the only thing going for it right now was just swapping Stunning Strike, but now I've given you a lot more to make you just that wee bit more desirable. Maybe I should have given you a shield breaking ability as well, so you're in touch with your wild card ancestry as it's shown here. Right now, you're mostly a cunning resilient at best. I did make a Stegoceratops Gen 2 from a Stegosaurus Gen 2 and Pentaceratops. Why Pentaceratops? Because I didn't just want to go for like a stronger Stegosaurus and a weaker Triceratops. So yeah. This one is also following the similar trends of like the high critical damage but low critical chance. And it looks like I really didn't change any. I guess I swapped out your swap in with a counterattack and an obstruction, and other than that, nothing much changed. Wow, I was pretty lazy with this one, honestly. I gotta rework this guy a bit. What would I change? Maybe that could be superior vulnerability. That could work. Maybe something else. Higher resistances. You know what? I'll leave it as is for now, but definitely something I'd reconsider changing in the future. Well, how would this one change? This one would basically be the Stegoceratops model from Jurassic World Evolution, where it has, instead of the Nazutoceratops face, it has more of a Triceratops-esque face. So then that can count as a Stegoceratops Gen 2, because it's still a Stego combined with a Ceratops. Because Nazutoceratops, Pentaceratops, Triceratops, they all end in Ceratops. It's just a matter of Penta, Nazuto, or Tri. And I know this ties into more of the raptor lineage, but I do have Stegoceraptor. I remember this was where I decided to stop trying to do drawing stuff because I just couldn't think of a clever design for Stegoceraptor without just making it look like a Utah Sinoraptor, and I just couldn't. I'm sorry, I wasn't clever enough. Not like the Velociraptors in this franchise, who are very clever. Oh no, this ability no longer exists. Oh, we gotta fix that. Okay. Now you get to see my creative process of what I do. First of all, we gotta boost that critical chance. I didn't even update you for this video because you're part of the raptor lineage. Anything else changes here? Lots of armor. Do I want to add... Oh, I did give you armor reduction for some reason. You're just immune to it. You just always have 40% armor. That's kind of OP. Everything else can stay this. You know what? I'll give you critical immunity because you have such a low critical chance. And then it's really rewarding when you get that critical damage and deals a massive amount of damage. Now, this ability no longer... What do I have? Determined Strike, Clever Pounce, and New Thagomizer. So this would have to be Stunning Rampage, of course. Do I need to change anything? Stunning Obstruction, swap in Shattering Strike. Do I want to change something? I think I'm okay with the way it is. This raptor is protected on all sides, Thagomizer behind and a Ceratopsian face in front. These are necessary when sparring with rival raptors. Very, simple description there. I really should get back to giving my animals descriptions, because that was a lot of fun, making up a whole new creature and giving it a backstory. It's like I even tell everyone who goes into the Discord server and posts their ideas, give your creature a backstory, because I like a dinosaur with some history. And it looks like this is the last one, the one I completely forgot existed. Stegopios, which is very obviously a combination between the two hybrids, the ones that people tend to forget about, because one's from a kids TV show and the other one is just concept art and showed up in like a blink or you'll miss it moment in Jurassic World on a TV screen. Sorry, computer screen, not TV screen. Cutting Fear Strike again, Instant Ambush, Group Decelerating Rampage, it really got upgraded. Toxic Quills, gotta include the Scorpius's signature ability. I didn't make any new abilities for this guy because I didn't want to break it. I was just lazy, I just threw this guy together at the last minute. Gave you some Apex-worthy stats. Then I gave you Precise Counter, Swap in Stunning Strike, Dig in on Escape, which is new for some Omegas, and a good ton of resistances. No history. What history would I give this guy? Let's see. Obviously, this dude is like a Scorpius Rex, but it's got the plating of the Stegosaurus and the horns of a Nazutoceratops, technically. It's a Triceratops, but it's Nazutoceratops spaced. So that would be like a very mean-looking, probably very top-heavy dinosaur. Its backstory would probably be like, it took many attempts to finally get this creature to stand up by giving it more robust legs and arms. Otherwise, if we just took the original basis, it would have collapsed in on itself because it would be unable to support its armor. Like how Goji Center pointed out that the Ultimasaurus is actually doomed to fail due to its raptor-esque build not being able to support any of the machinery packed in by the Kentrosaurus and the Triceratops and so on. When then they made their own version with Alamosaurus, which was really made to make the Ultimasaurus 2.0 even greater. But that's enough of me. I have no other things to say here. Is there any other species you want me to cover? Like, do you want me to do the Ceratopsians, or do you want me to do the Hadrosaurs? Or is there a species that I've already covered that you want me to do again? Because, as I said in the past, I am ready to I am open to reworking my old creatures due to the fact that, I'm looking at my screen here. Five Nights at Freddy's Plus. Is Five Nights at Freddy's Plus out yet? Or is that just a fan-made version of a fan-made game? Sorry about getting distracted. I'm just really curious. FNAF Plus is something I've been excited for a while, and I'm just dying to see the full game finally be released, and it just hasn't come out yet, and I'm just waiting for it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Sorry, hold up. I'm not done yet. I'm actually not done yet. I realized there are two hybrids I should include as well. First of all, Ankyla, because I remembered, I was thinking, what should I title this video? Then I thought, oh, I can call it Fixing Dr. Wu's Hybrids. Then I realized, wait, there are two of Dr. Wu's hybrids I didn't cover. It also gives more reason why I wouldn't do the Spinoceratops, because that's not Dr. Wu's hybrid. Ankylodocus, one of the OG hybrids from Jurassic World, the game. There's the name. Slowing Resilient Strike, Group Decelerating Rampage, Group Taunting Shield, Shield Advantage, Swap in Deceleration Bone Break, which is from the Ankylosaurs. Honestly, one of my better reworks, and one I'm pretty proud of to this day. And a bunch of resistances, and that's basically it for Ankylodocus. Depending on, do you want the one from Jurassic World Evolution, or do you want the one from Jurassic World, the game? That's your choice. Ankylodocus is a dinosaur that I do want in Jurassic World Alive someday. Notopada Titan doesn't count. It's not the same. It is different. I know it's JWA's way of saying we have our own version, but it's not the same. And we're going to end off the video with Spinoraptor. The true Spinoraptor, not that ugly imposter Spinotaraptor. I hate that thing. I hate it so much. And because I love Spinoraptor so much, I have a huge history with it. Jurassic World, the game, I played it, and then I gave my Utahraptor such a personality, and then when I finally fused it to make the Spinoraptor, I said, like, a farewell to my Utahraptor. And then that's why Spinoraptor's just huge nostalgia towards that creature. And I'm going to make it a unique. And it's going to be Cunning Fierce. So let's see. Of course, we got to find the hybrid components, starting with the U. The U in Utah Raptors. I have so many creatures. Oh, wait. Are these even mine? I think so. Yeah, I see Mammoth here. Maybe not. I think I'm in the wrong place. Where am I? Okay, here we go. U. I know I made my own Utah Raptor. Where the heck is my Utah Raptor? Really? Utah. Okay, this could take a while. Hold on. Okay, I think I got. I couldn't find them on my side. Okay, it took a while to find it. Let's give you Spinosaurus. It's based on the original stats. Let's go with my version, where it's like. Oh wait, we're going for a raptor, but then Spinoraptor is canonically a little like a large raptor. So let's, I think 3,900, but that's low for you. This is a unique we're talking about. 4,500 at least. Damage, we gotta go high, right? High damage, 122 speed. That's a good amount. Armor, no armor. This thing's not gonna have armor. It's gonna have a very high critical damage. I mean critical chance, but let's balance it. Give it a very low critical damage and a high critical chance. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's go with this. And then critical reduction, you can reduce its critical hits. It is immune to bleed. It is immune to distractions because it is a cunning and a Spinosaur. And let's make it immune to rend because that's a thing now. Speed, you can slow it down. Stun, everything's immune to stun, so let's leave mine stunnable. Swap preventation, you cannot pin it down though. Taunt, you can taunt it. Vulnerable, you can vulnerable it. Let's leave it with this. Let's give it a small vulnerable resistance. And it has no way of increasing its armor, so there's really no point to the armor reduction. Anyway, as for its abilities, these are all just the regular, none of the abilities that I made up for them. This could take a while. Cunning Fear Strike, of course. Let's go find Cunning Fear Strike as the first move. Because it is a Cunning Fierce, it makes sense. Am I in the right spot? Cunning Fear Strike, there we go. Now we'll give it Lethal Wound. Do I have a Defense Shattering Wound here? I think I do. So, that's the G. Let's go to the D. Defensive Peck, Defensive Alert, Defense Shattering Frenzy. Huh. What do I have? Do I have a Rending Wound at least? I think I do have that. No, but I gave the Spinosaurus something. Shield Breaking? Why would I Fierce Wound, probably. This is going to take a while. This video is going to be a little longer than expected. Fire Bomb, Fire Dragon Roar. I must have had a dragon somewhere. Fierce Wound, there you are. And now let's get for some cunning. I had a Bleeding Pounce, didn't I? Yes, I did. Somewhere here. Bleeding Pounce. And we'll end it off with a... Well, it'll be like, now we just need an absolutely broken ability to give this thing. Like, out of the blue. Let's give it out of the blue. No, I want to keep that unique to blue, though. Oh, Evasive Wounding Impact. I didn't even know I had that. It's a full-on wounding, dodging, shield-breaking mastermind. Counter? There are no count. Let's give it a... Nah, No. Let's not give you a counter. Let's give you a swap in instead. And since not all of your abilities break shields, I think it's safe to go for a swap in, like, Defense Shattering Wound. Is that it? Swap in Swift Wounding swap in. What's that? No. Hang on. There's so many different moves. Most of them don't even make... Some of them don't even really tell you what the move does. So... Shattering Swap and Wound. There it is. And no escape. Do I want to just give it a... No. I have something. Distracting Obstruction. Yes, that makes sense. This will be the Raptor animation, so Dromaeosaurid, and it is medium because it's a lot bigger. And there we go. We have a Spinoraptor. I'm going to give it the Utah Raptor profile. Actually, let's go a little crazy and give it the Ursa Titan thing because I don't have many creatures that use that profile. And there we go. That's pretty good. It can use any of its abilities right off the bat, and they're all bleeding abilities. Okay. Wow. Yeah, this thing could be a boss. This thing's a glass cannon boss. Got it. Okay, I like this. I'm very happy with how that turned out. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm ending the video for real this time. See you in the next one. See you in the next one. Remember, just give me suggestions what you want me to do next. Not just that. I don't want to see one guy telling me what to do next, because I'm just going to listen to that one guy if no one else is going to suggest anything. Bye.